welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having an amazing start to your new year, and this is going to be our very first product research video of 2024. I'm super excited because a couple of things have changed on Helium 10, and I am looking forward to kind of showing you how to look for products in this new year and how you can find good things to sell on Amazon that will make you a lot of money and also become a passive stream of income for you. So if you do enjoy this video, I'd appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's jump right in. Okay, well, we are inside of my computer and we're looking at Helium 10's interface. So if you have no idea what Helium 10 is, don't worry, we're gonna talk all about that in today's video, but essentially this is the tool that I'm going to be using for product research. And I do highly recommend that you subscribe to Helium 10 and that you're able to see exactly what I'm seeing on my screen once you are able to do that. If you click on the link in the description, it'll take you directly there. You can try out Helium 10 and you'll be able to follow along with the steps that I'm about to show you. So once you log into Helium 10, you'll be able to click on this button right here up top that says tools, and once you click on tools, it will pull up this screen that you're looking at right now. And what I'm going to do is just click on Black Box. This is my favorite product research tool that I've ever used for Amazon research. And I'm just going to show you a few of the things that we're looking at. I'm not going to go through every single thing because one, you don't need to know it all, and two, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to show you what is most important for you to know for now. And then in other videos, I will go over some of these other aspects of Black Box. So the first thing that you're going to see is when you very first click on Black Box, you're going to get the simplified view of product research. Now, this is the way that Helium 10 kind of consolidates everything so that you can look for products in the most straightforward way possible. That is why they give you this prompt, and it says, answer these questions to find a product. I want to sell a product, ... So you can make your selections as you go through here. I will show you the simplified version, and then I'm going to show you the advanced version as well, because it's important that you have all of the information that you need in order to do proper product research. So let's just go with what we're looking at now. So I want to sell a product and then this gives you all of the different marketplaces. So they have Amazon in a lot of different markets. They have Amazon Canada, Mexico, Denmark, Spain, Italy, so on and so forth. You can see all of the different ones here, but we're going to leave it as the default of Amazon.com, which is the US marketplace. The reason that we're going to leave it on the US marketplace is because this is where you are going to have the most potential to make money. Amazon US is the biggest marketplace by far, and that's where the coin is. And I know that you guys want to make money, so let's search for products that are in the market where the most money is being made, regardless of where you live. So if you're in the US, this might make perfect sense. But if you're looking at products and you are starting this business from outside of the US, let's say that you're in Africa, you're in Europe, you're in Asia, Antarctica, who knows, wherever you're at, you should still be selling on the US marketplace. The products are going to be made in one place and then sent directly to Amazon. So it doesn't matter where you are. You just want to make as much money as possible. So you should be selling in the US. Next, you can select which category. So it gives you a list of different categories and you can select all of them. You can select one of them. You can select 5 of them. You can do whatever you want. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to just go ahead and click on maybe 3. So let's go with health and household. Let's go home and kitchen, and then kitchen and dining. So those are the 3 that I'm going to select. And then in the next little selection here, you can decide if you want a product that needs a little bit of improvement, some improvement, or a lot of improvement. For this one, I would recommend that you click a lot of improvement, because you want to be looking at products where you can come in, differentiate the product, improve the product, and compete with the existing sellers. If there is not much you can do to improve on the product, then there's going to be limitations on how much you can differentiate the product, which means that you might not be able to make it stand out, which is what we do not want. We want products that stand out. So let's click on a lot of improvement. Where the competition is, I mean, let's just be obvious here. We want low competition. With anything, you want to make sure that you are going to be able to have a chance. So I'm going to click on low competition, and then we're going to move on to the next one that says, I want to sell my product for, and then you can click on the price range, $0 to $30, $30 to $100, or $100 plus. Now this one, The one I just definitely would not pick is $100 plus, because in order to sell a product for $100, you're going to have to spend a lot of money to buy that product. And as beginners, I want you to be focusing on lower cost products to start. So $5 or less per unit is where you should be looking. So realistically, a $5 product, you're not going to be able to sell it for $100. It's just not realistic. You could click 30 to 100 if you want, but I'm going to click 0 to 30 because, again, we are looking for those cheaper products to buy. So we're going to hope that we can find something for 5 or less and sell it for 20 or more. So that's what we want. And then here we have a monthly revenue of $0 to $1,000, $1,000 to $10,000, or $10,000 plus. I'm going to click monthly revenue of $10,000 plus because, remember, revenue is not profit. So if we're looking at a reasonable profit margin of 20%, 20% of $10,000 is $2,000. So we can find a product where we can profit $2,000 a month. I think that's a great place to start. So I'm going to go ahead and click on search and let's see what we are able to generate. We'll give it a quick little second here. You can see that there are a lot of items that have been found that meet this criteria, so that is very encouraging. And right here, we can just start looking at all of the different options. We've got mouthwash, is not something that we would want to sell. We've got an artificial Christmas tree stand. At the time of recording, this is January, so there are going to be a bunch of holiday products in here that we want to stay away from because we don't want to sell anything seasonal that is Christmas based, that is New Year's based, that is Valentine's Day based. We want to sell evergreen products only, so I am going to just not even entertain anything that is seasonal. However, what I do want to just show you before we start actually looking at products themselves is the different data points that we are getting here. So on the left-hand side over here, we see the different products. If we click it, it'll take us directly to the listing on Amazon, but we can also see where the sellers are based out of. So the flag tells you where they're from, and then we can see that these are all US. What we can also see over here is the category and the BSR. So the category is health and household, home and kitchen and dining. Those are the ones that we selected. So it specifies. And then what it also is going to do here is it's going to show you the best sellers rank. So the BSR is how quickly the product is selling compared to the other competing products that are for that keyword. So I will talk more about that a little bit later on, but I just wanted to at least tell you what BSR stands for, and that's what BSR is right here. Next, we can see the price, which is right here. Some of these products are extremely low price, and I'm not really sure why this is even showing, because we're supposed to be looking at products that sell, because we said $0 to $30. So that's giving us even the super low cost products, unfortunately. So that is that. And then we've got monthly sales. So how many products are selling every single month, monthly revenue. We've got the reviews, and then the actual name of the seller themselves. If we scroll over, we can see even more information, like what the brand name is, what the sales were last year. That's a very cool metric. The shipping details, is it small? Is it oversized? What size tier does it fall within? We can see how much the product costs. We can see what the storage fees look like. We can see what the best sales period was, which is really interesting. And I find that normally it's either in Q4, which is the holiday season, October, November, and December, or sometimes it'll be September as well, since it's getting closer to Q4. But that's just something that I personally have noticed. And then we can see even more information over here. I'm not going to go through every single thing in the interest of time, but as you can see, there's a lot of information that you can see right here. Now, we could go and start looking for products this way, but I did remember telling you guys that I was going to show you the simplified version, and I was also going to show you the advanced version. So let me go back, and I'm going to show you the advanced version just so you have something else to chew on when you get off of this video. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to click on keywords. And the reason that I clicked on keywords is because you can either search by product or by keyword. You can also search some of these other ways, but those are the two main ways that I normally look for products. So if I go back to products, it brings me back to that original screen that we saw where it says simple or advanced. If I click on advanced, it will show us this, which is very similar to what happens when we click on keywords. So I'm just going to go to keywords because that's how I prefer to do my product research. But just so you know, you can also do the advanced mode looking at products. But once again, I'm looking at keywords. Now, what you can do here is select a lot more detailed information as opposed to that prompt. Remember, the prompt said, I want to sell a product that has low competition and blah, blah, blah. This, you get to literally specify the ranges of what you want to look for. So in my full step-by-step program, I expand on everything. I have a full winning product criteria. I have a product verification checklist that goes through every single thing that I look for in a product and all the metrics that I specifically look for. But for this video, I will just kind of give you some rough ranges. And when we look at search volume tells us how many times a product is being searched for on Amazon, or actually how many times a keyword, because remember, we're in the keyword tab. So how many times is this product being searched for based off of the keyword that we're using? And the keyword is just the word that you type into the search bar. So for the search volume, for the minimum, we're going to put as 3,000. For the maximum, we can go much higher here, but for this, I'm just going to put 60,000 for the maximum. So the monthly revenue that I'm going to put is, not zero, 10,000 at least. And then we'll go all the way up to, let's do 90,000 here. For the price, the minimum we want is 15. For the maximum, let's go ahead and put $40 just to see what we're able to get. Review count, very important. The maximum reviews you should be looking for is 200. That is what my recommendation is. Other Amazon coaches may say otherwise, but for me personally, 200 is the upper limit of what I would look for. Now we're looking at categories. So once again, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to click on the same three categories: health and household, home and kitchen, kitchen and dining. So I'm going to select on these three. You can add other keywords here. You can exclude certain keywords, which I normally don't do, but because I am searching during still the aftermath of a holiday season, I'm going to put in a few keywords. So here I'm going to put Christmas. I'm going to put holiday, I'm gonna put New Year, I'm gonna put ornament, I'm gonna put tree, and I'll just do that for now. With the shipping size tier, I'm going to put small or large standard size. I highly recommend you stay away from any oversized products. The bigger they are, the heavier they are, the more you'll pay in shipping fees, the more you'll pay in Amazon fees, and you want to make sure that you are not overspending on your first product. For some of these, I will just leave them alone for now. I'm going to just focus on certain metrics here. So monthly sales, we want a product that has at least monthly sales of, let's call it 300 units. The best sellers rank, the maximum that we want, let's go 60,000 here. And then the minimum, I'm going to put 5,000. The reason I'm not putting 0 is that if a product has a BSR of 0, that means that it is the single, well, I don't know that there's a 0. Let's just call it 1. That means that it is the fastest selling product. So out of all the products, it is number 1. It's based off of a ranking system compared to other competitors. So that is why we don't want ones that are selling too fast, because we wouldn't be able to have enough inventory to compete with them essentially. So what I'm going to do here is click on, let's see what else we want to look at. Nothing, actually. We'll just leave it there for now and see what we are able to generate. Okay, so there are 53 phrases or 53 keywords that match what I have input. Okay, so what we can see here is that there are 53 phrases or keywords that match all of the metrics that I put in. So we can see here we've got our rechargeable battery, which is not something I would ever entertain because it's electronic and I don't like electronic products. And we can just scroll here and we can see all of the different options. See, this one made it into my results, snowman decor, and obviously that is related more towards Christmas and the winter time and the holiday season. So I might go back up and put snow in my excluded keywords so that I don't see things that include that. But before we start looking more at these specific keywords and products, what I want to do is just kind of show you what I showed you before, which is these different columns and what they all are representing here. We can see the phrase and it shows us the category that it's in, kitchen and dining. It shows us who is fulfilling the order, whether it is the seller or if Amazon is fulfilling it. It shows us the size tier, how many variations there are, how many sellers, so on and so forth. Here we can see the search volume. Remember I said 3,000 would be the bare minimum. This one is 18,669, which is a pretty solid search volume. The price point is $32.11. The monthly sales, 1,100. Monthly revenue at 37,000. The BSR, title density, and then reviews are right here. So based off of this information, we can kind of see which keywords seem interesting enough to then take the next step in our product research process. So this is like step one. We're still at the beginning of just looking for ideas, getting our feet wet. What are some possible products that we could sell on Amazon? And then we're going to go from there. With that being said, let me look for something that might look viable. Bread sling is one that I have looked at in the past, but let me keep going here to see if there's anything else that I have not seen. Oh, see, winter is one that I definitely should have excluded. Snowflake should have excluded. This is a cream. I don't necessarily like topicals for a first product. Topical meaning anything that goes on the skin because it is gated and you would need extra documents to sell that on Amazon. Supplements I would not recommend. Paris Hilton Kitchen, not really. Simmer pot, Valentine's, see, another seasonal product there, Valentine's. More creams, Taylor Swift cup, no. Glassware, don't recommend glass for beginners. Let's see on this third page if there's anything good here that we might take a closer look at. Wow, this Paris Hilton kitchen set or whatever new brand she's got seems to be pretty popular. Nothing here that is really piquing my interest. Mushroom kitchen decor. That is so random. Okay. So we can either, okay, why don't we just look at bread sling then? And let's see what we're working with. This is actually a product that I gave to my students in our private Facebook group. I found that product a while ago and I just kind of gave it to them as a freebie. I thought that it looked promising. So let's look at bread sling and see what comes up for just bread sling. Pretty interesting product here. So this would be for the baking niche. So baking would most likely fall under home and kitchen as a category. And just so you guys know, when we're looking at things to sell on Amazon, the most broad thing that we can look at is a category. So category would be very, very big topics. So things like toys and games, like there's so many different toys and games. So you would look at a category as kind of like the umbrella, and then underneath that would be the niche, and underneath the niche would be the product if we're kind of zoning down to get to the product. So this would be under home and kitchen, and then under home and kitchen, the niche would be baking supplies. I mean, there's subcategories and other things that you can look at, but just so you have a little bit more of an idea of how you narrow things down. So what we're looking at right now are these bread slings. Now this is actually still looking like a pretty good product if I'm just taking a glance at the search page. Now all I did was I took that keyword that I found over here on Blackbox and then I typed it into the search bar here on Amazon. You don't even have to do that. You can literally just click on, let me actually find it so I can show you. I'll do the silicone one. oh snap, I thought there was, yeah, view on Amazon. I was about to say, I know that there's a button for it. So I can just click view on Amazon and I don't even have to type it in. So as you might notice, I am looking at silicone bread sling here, and then the other tab I have just bread sling. So we're gonna get different results based off of these two different keywords, bread sling versus silicone bread sling. Even though essentially it's the same product, we are being more specific with silicone bread sling. So the only reason I'm telling you that is so that I can compare and contrast and show you guys how important it is that you are aware of the keywords that you are using, because the keyword being even slightly a little bit different, like it being plural, bread slings versus bread sling, that can change the data that you will get when you look it up using Helium 10. So I just want to make sure that I am covering all the bases so that you have all of the information that you need. Now, before I start pulling up the data and the numbers, what I want to be able to do is to let you know that I'm going to be using the Helium 10 Google Chrome extension. And this is a tool that you can just download as an extension into your browser. It only works with Google Chrome, so I recommend that you go ahead and use that when you're doing your product research. But what you'll be able to do is use a variety of different tools. Again, if you don't have Helium 10, it's linked in the description, guys. But you can see these different tools here. We've got X-Ray for keywords, and then ASIN Grabber. Now, the way that I prefer to look at this information is with X-Ray Amazon Product Research. It's the very first one at the top. That is what I like to look at. And so that's what we're going to be doing as I show you. This took an extra second to load up a little bit here, but essentially the information that we're about to see using this X-Ray tool, we can see a snapshot of that right here. As you can see on the screen, it's all still loading up. I'm having some connection issues with my Wi-Fi right now, so it's taking a little extra second, but we can see here and here it's showing us the data. Now you can click on show full summary in order to see these selections here that are blurred out. So I can just click on that and it'll just show it all, but they do kind of blur it initially. But we can see here that the 30-day revenue for silicone bread sling is $859,000. And then the average revenue per seller is almost $18,000 here. The 30-day units sold, 55, close to 56,000. We can see that the average is about 1,000 units per seller, the average best sellers rank, the average price, average rating, so on and so forth. Now, what I really like about this is the breakdown that it gives you in this graph, where you can see the seller's country of origin. So the majority of the sellers of this product are in China, 83%. We've got some US sellers, some Turkish sellers, some UK sellers, and then you can also see the breakdown of the size tier here as well. The majority are small standards, some are oversized, and so on and so forth. Now, when you scroll down, you can even see the sellers of these products and the revenue breakdown. So here are the top sellers doing $294,000 a month, and it shows you their share, like basically their market share. They have 34% of the market, and then you can see all of the rest of them. So this gives you such a great little snapshot of what is going on within this niche. And then I'm going to hop on over to bread sling here on the other tab so we can compare and contrast. So we're here on the tab for bread sling. Let's show the whole summary. So you remember what I said about using different keywords and how it affects the data that you receive. So if we're looking at silicone bread sling, we had 859. When we're looking at just bread sling, we get 569. So it's a $300,000 difference in results based off of the keywords that we are deciding to use. The 30-day units sold 34,000. The average bestsellers rank 93,000. We've got average price. We've got average rating. And then with this one as well, we can see that the majority of the sellers are based out of China. And the reason that this is going to be very similar to the other one is because silicone bread slings are still bread slings. So you're going to have a lot of overlap in the data, but the numbers will vary. So very, very important to be looking at those numbers. And then here we've got the revenue breakdown, the market share, and all of that information is here as well. So now that we have some of that info, I'm gonna go and click on the X-ray tool that I mentioned before, and let's see what we're looking at here. Now, Helium 10, this is something that is a more recent update. They have changed kind of the interface for the X-ray tool. I prefer the old view because I'm just used to it. But if you switch to the new view, it looks like this. It's not drastically different, but it is a little bit different. So just, let's see. Do we want to look at the old view or the new view? I don't know. I just prefer the old view. I feel like it's easier to look at in my humble opinion, but you can play around with it. But just for simplicity, let's look at the old view because I like it. And let's see here. All of the information is going to be the same though. It's just literally like superficial, but we can see that the search volume is 4,819 here. I'm going to toggle back to the other one. And let's pull up the X-ray tool over here as well. So we can see that the search volume for silicone bread sling is actually higher than the search volume for just bread sling. And then we can see it's 6,505. So that means over the course of a month, there are about 1,700 more searches for silicone bread sling. So if I was going to sell this product, I would definitely want to focus on this keyword more because there are more searches for it. Now, if we go down, we can see that the total revenue is $859,000. The average revenue is $21,000. The average price, $16, so on and so forth. What I'm really interested in seeing here, though, is the average reviews. How many reviews are there here? And for this, it's 214, which is really not that bad. Remember, I recommend 200 or less. This is just slightly above that. And if we go over to just regular bread sling, we can see the average reviews for this keyword is actually 84. This is down way under 200. So this is a less competitive keyword. Bread sling is less competitive than silicone bread sling. Now, let's go ahead and look at some of these data points a little bit more closely. If you are looking at all of this, I know it looks like a lot of information and it is, but let me just run through it real quick so you can know what all you are looking at. First of all, here where it says filter results, I would click on that, and right off of the bat, I would just hide sponsored products from results. The reason you want to do that is the sponsored products are the ads, and the ads will kind of jumble up your data a little bit and make it harder to look at. So you can just go ahead and remove all of them right off of the bat. And normally what I do when I am looking at products and seeing whether or not I want to sell the product is I will look at this column specifically here, which is the revenue column. I want to know who's making the most money, why are they making the most money, and can I compete with them? So what I will do is I'll go ahead and click on this tab once, and once orders the results from lowest to highest as far as revenue, and then twice goes from highest to lowest. Remember, the top seller was doing $294,000, which is this seller right here. And interestingly enough, this isn't actually a bread sling. So they are the #1 seller, but they're not a bread sling. This is a silicone baking mat. So because this is not the actual product that we are looking to sell, we can remove this product from our search results because it's not the product, right? So we're gonna go ahead on this left-hand side and click on this box here, and let's put it in the trash. So you click on it, click the trash can. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to remove this product? You say yes. And look at how that has affected our average reviews. It's gone down to 143, which is far below that 200 mark for the reviews that we were talking about before. So now this product, I know that you guys don't know exactly all the metrics within my program, but this pretty much hits every mark as far as a good product when I'm looking at my winning product criteria. Now, there are a few other steps that you would want to look at before you decide to move on the product, but so far so good. This looks very, very promising, which makes sense as to why I would have given it as a free product idea to my students. So what I'm going to do now is look at the top seller. They are doing $182,000 in revenue per month, which is really good. And their reviews are at 326. That's not too bad at all. To be the top seller and to be making close to 200K a month with only 300 reviews is not bad at all. Now, what is scaring me is this listing here that has an average review count of 3,857. Let's look and see. Now look, this also is not our product. This is not a silicone bread sling. This is a silicone bread maker. So we can actually go ahead and remove this from our results. And I suspect that this will get our average reviews a lot closer to 100 once we remove this one. So let's see if we can get it down. Wow. We just went from 143 average reviews to 62 simply by eliminating that search result that did not belong there. So make sure that you are kind of hovering over and just looking to see if there's anything there that does not belong, because that search result could mess up all of the numbers for you. Now we can see that the real top seller of this product is actually this one here, doing 182,000. I'm sorry for the congestion, guys. I think I have the flu, but that is what we're looking at now. So this top seller, once again, they have pretty low reviews. And what you can actually do, I normally do this right off of the bat, is drag over any columns that you want so that you can see the information that is actually important to you. So I always love to put the review count right next to the revenue. So that way I can just kind of look and see. So this one, 98 reviews, and they're doing $48,000 a month. That is not bad at all. 42 reviews doing $21,000. So there's definitely some potential here. This is also, okay. See, this is a baking, oh no, this is the sling. Okay. That is the sling as well. I thought that it was irrelevant. I was going to remove it, but we don't need to. So anyway, that being said, since this kind of checks off all the boxes for me so far, the next step that I would want to do is to make sure that this is going to be profitable. How do you know if it's going to be profitable or not? Well, you need to know what the fees are. You need to know how much it will cost you to buy the product, and then how much you can realistically sell the product for. So I'm going to use the top seller as my example, and I'm going to actually click on the listing itself for that top seller and just take a quick look at their listing and see what they're working with. They've got all of their keywords here in the title: silicone bread sling, Dutch oven, non-stick, easy clean, reusable, blah, blah, blah. So they're just putting a lot of keywords into the title, which makes it easier for people to find the product, which is a good thing. They've got their main image here that shows the product clearly. Technically, according to Amazon's terms of service, you're not supposed to have an image of anything that is not the product itself as your main image. So this pot with the bread in it is actually against TOS, but obviously they are getting away with it. They have some infographics here. They've got more images of the product demonstrating, certain features. It's easy to clean, it's dishwasher safe, it's non-stick, it can last up to 480 degrees in the oven, all of that relevant information. And they have some videos as well, which is definitely a good thing. We can see they've got the different color variations, or at least they did. It looks like they might be out of stock. But anyway, I'm just kind of hovering over. I just want to see what they're working with and how they're doing almost 200K a month in sales on this product. But more importantly, what I want to do is look at the profitability. So there are two different ways where you can find the profitability calculator. So you can go here and click profitability calculator and it'll pull this pop-up, or you can just go here in your Google Chrome extension and click on profitability calculator. So whichever way you want to do it, it'll still bring up the same thing. And what we're actually looking at here is the specifics for this listing itself. So it is fulfilled by Amazon. We can see that the price of the product is $13.99. We can see the dimensions, the weight of the product, all of the relevant information. This is the estimated unit manufacturing cost. So how much the product probably costs to be made. We don't know for sure because it depends on the seller. It depends on how many units they buy. All of those factors will impact what the cost is per unit, but this is just a guesstimate. So they're guessing $2.80 per unit. So based off of all of this information, it calculates how much money you would make off of each one. So the net profit off of this product is about $4, a little over $4. And it depends on the month. The reason that they have separated these out based off of January to September and October to December is that the storage fees are slightly higher during Q4, which is October, November, and December. So you would make a little bit less because the fees are a little bit higher. So that's why they just have these two columns, but they're pretty close. I mean, it's not a significant amount of difference. And then we can see that the profit margin is over 30%, which is great. So you want to have a minimum of 20% for your profit margin. And then the return on investment per unit over 100% is 125%. So you can definitely see that this would be a profitable product if you're able to get the product for $2.80. Now, because we don't know if we can get the product for that cost or not, what we can do is go back here to the X-ray tool. And I like this added feature that Helium 10 implemented where you can click on this button here that says find suppliers on Alibaba. And when you click on it, it kind of gives you a quick little snapshot of different sellers who make this product on Alibaba. So it's integrated with Alibaba to see if there are suppliers who can make it for a reasonable price. We can see here that there are some suppliers who can make this for $3 to $3.90. We've got a supplier here who can make it for as little as 63 cents per unit, $1.15 to $1.40. So it looks like you can definitely get this product under $2 depending on how many units you buy. You might even be able to get it for under $1. It just kind of depends on which supplier you go with and which differentiators you add. Typically, the more you differentiate the product, the more expensive the cost will be. So you definitely want to be strategic, but I think that this seems like it's something that you can definitely get for a really low price. And the only thing that would concern me here is just that the selling price is under $15. Like this one was $13.99. So if you do have to lower your price at some point, it's going to definitely cut into your margins. That is the only red flag I see with this product. And even that is not a deal breaker because the product is so cheap. Like if you're able to get the product for $1 a unit and you're still able to sell it for close to 15, I mean, that's still a good margin. You would be making $5-6 off of each one instead of just $4. So the cheaper you can get it and still maintain the quality, the better off you're going to be profitability wise. Now, if you wanted to continue doing research on these different suppliers, you could go ahead and click on view more on Alibaba and it will take you to Alibaba's website, like alibaba.com. But this at least gives you an idea, because if we would have clicked on this button and all of the suppliers were charging $5 or more to make this product, we would know that it wouldn't be profitable for us, because then we would only be making like $2 a pop off of each one, and that's not enough. You want to be making at least $5 off of each one. I know this one came in just a bit under at $4, but I am pretty confident that this product can be made for cheaper than $2.80. So that's the reason why I still think that it's viable. So with that being said, I have to say that even though I found this product months ago and gave it to my students months ago, it still looks like it's a viable product. At the time of recording, if you're watching this video in December 2024 or 2025 or whatever, child, I don't know what the numbers are going to look like. But as of now, this, still looks like a solid product as long as you can differentiate and make your product stand out in some way. And a good differentiator would be something more significant than just the color of the product. You would want to be able to change up the design. You would want to bundle the product or something that would really make it stand out against these other competitors. But it's definitely something that I would look into. And wow, I didn't even hover over the others and look at the price, but the top seller is selling for $13.99. Some of these other sellers are up at like $22. So imagine if you could buy this product for $1, and it looks like, this seller has 2 pieces instead of just 1. So let's call it $3 for 2 of them. Buying for 3 and being able to sell for $22 is a really good margin. Even selling for 20, that's not bad at all. So with this one, it's only one piece and they're selling it for $13.99. So technically, if you were to buy 2 of these, you would be spending $28 to buy 2 of them separately versus just buying the 2-piece for $22. So I guess that's where they were going with that as a differentiator. But as you can see, there are tons of sellers who are selling 2 of them in one. So that is not a strong differentiator because everyone else has that already. So what would you be able to do to make yours stand out? If you could get creative and find something unique, I think that this could definitely be a very promising, profitable product for anyone starting out. So with all of that, as you can see, we started off, however long this video has been, I think it's been like 30, 45 minutes, however long it's been, but we started off way back in Helium 10 on the actual website using the black box tool, which I showed you guys. Remember, you click on tools, you click on black box, and then you add in all of your ranges, click on search, and that's how we basically found the bread sling. And then we went to Amazon.com, we used the X-ray tool, we looked at the niche summary, we looked at a bunch of different items, and guys, there's so much more I could talk about here as far as data points. We can look and see the historical trends, we can look at so much, but I think I'm just gonna leave it here because I think I've given you a lot to look at and to think about, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm happy to do more product research videos this year. You guys just let me know in the comments what other types of videos you would like, and I'm happy to do more, and we can keep on practicing, keep on looking for good products together. But that is where we're going to go ahead and end this video today. I hope that you learned a bit about product research. I hope you try out Helium 10. It's really an awesome tool, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.